They said, wait,
Always ready.
I said
No,
always ready.
what? Like too late
hashing
now
out
or they click.
Thursday pre-show. Tay Talks. Ziggy the Beast as writer. You know how we doing it. You know what the deal is. It's the pre-show. We getting everything in order. We got a special episode, special guest, of course. If y'all been following us, as y'all know that we're gonna have a returning guest from last season coming back tonight. Wayne and Erica Guidry from the We Blended and Blessed podcast. So they definitely gonna be kicking it with us tonight. We're gonna be discussing some relationship topics. We're gonna have a good conversation tonight. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna have none of that ratchetness and that tension, that
Bro,
intense.
last week was
We're not.
that was a great episode. People still telling me about that episode last week.
I enjoyed it. I had the time of my life.
We're moving. We're moving.
I had the time of my life.
Tells
Not
like
gonna tell you no lie. Loved it.
We're moving.
I even wore my hat today in support of you.
I like
More
that.
to come. More to come next week. But I'm just getting started. Just want to give a preview of what's to come.
Bro, people still sending me clips of like Usher and Kiki. Like
me too.
They're like,
People
see,
be
look, this is why I
DMing me.
said. I'm like, I got it.
Yeah. I've definitely
You
been
made
getting
your
the
points.
same.
I got you.
I've definitely been getting the same, and I'm
I
loving
never
every bit of it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's become a real bigger issue than people that you really think of, though, bro. Like a lot of people really.
Yeah, they broke up over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's crazy.
it is.
I don't think it's crazy, and I say that only because
So here we
for
go.
somebody like him dating someone like her, you should know we're not gonna bring it to social media. That should be the first. Absolutely not. Can't do.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said,
Not social media. We can argue black eyes in the house, but social media, that's
eyes in the house.
But I'm just saying, like you gotta leave things in the house. Like you can't let the world in when you're in that type of limelight. You just can't.
Yeah, but is there any such thing as like reality standards as opposed of social media standards? Like everybody.
In reality, I don't care if your hair in a nappy bun, but once you get on social media, girl, you better have them edges dyed and slick to the side.
I look at it as a parallel universe. Like you got social media and you got reality.
That's just like for us, it's like social media is like a virtual reality game. You can be whoever you want to be online. Once a person meets you and know you in the real world, they like, it's not even you. Like I see a lot of people on social media, I'd be like, girl, bye. Like,
that's the danger though of them kind of
so it's like life catfishing.
Yeah. People that really know you, they know you and they can really
That's why I don't pretend to be anybody that I'm not.
What's going on, Guidry fam?
Hey y'all. What's happening? We can hear y'all loud and clear coming in.
Mic check, y'all good?
Yeah. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to make sure we at least did that before we bring y'all in. Yes. Appreciate y'all for joining us. We'll have y'all kind of hang out in the green room for a little bit. Then we'll bring y'all back in.
So wait, listen, y'all. Question: do y'all have like a camera set up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, move the camera a little towards.
A little bit towards Erica.
Yeah, like a little bit more towards Erica. But that outside of that is perfectly fine. But it's like showing past his shoulder, but we can only see like half of you.
Okay, it's showing different for us. And just FYI, you gotta lay the edges. I'm just saying. That's why I was a little tardy because I had to go make sure my edges.
Hey, no, you
don't. Sis, don't encourage her. We're not having that.
All right, my bad.
Yeah, there you go, Wayne. You good, bro?
We're not bringing that from last week. It got intense last week. We're not.
Oh, we saw.
Yeah, we're gonna be peaceful this week. We're gonna be good Samaritan.
Praise the Lord.
Keep it spicy, man.
No,
he said spicy, man.
Keep that same energy. Don't back up now.
I've been practicing. Good behavior.
Keep that same energy, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Look, I'm gonna sit here like this and watch.
No, you better not, girl. You better not sit there like that.
Right, man, tell her. Don't sit there.
Don't sit like that. You was last week. You was on and popping. I tell you that we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that, man.
What's good? All right, I'm gonna bring y'all back in. Appreciate y'all for the sound check.
All right, no doubt.
All right.
So I have something that I want to tell y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not big on like playing games. Like I'm not really one of those.
Interesting.
I have been playing Monopoly the last 3
Monopoly
days.
Go?
Yes, like an addict. Like
Bruh.
I got it bad.
Everybody on that thing, bro.
I got it bad. Like I'm serious. It's really bad. I have been having the time of my life.
What's up, Kirsten? What's up, Lala?
The time of my life.
The board game?
Yes, it's a game.
But it's like
on
a different
phone.
it's a mobile version of it. And you play with friends and you like attack people and yeah.
Listen, I'm having the time of my life. So when y'all see me look down, they be like, "What the hell is she doing?"
She looking at her notes.
I'm just trying to make sure
she looking at her
nobody
notes.
don't knock me and all my shields.
She looking at her notes.
I ain't gonna even lie to you. I need to make sure all my shields are there, and yeah, and nobody can't hit me because I ain't got time to be fixing nothing. My Monopoly Go people.
Look at this, boys. Remember we got roasted back in the day for playing video games. Now look at this.
But I tell you one thing, I don't enjoy playing Monopoly in person. I can't stand it. Like I hate playing Monopoly in person. Like I feel like it's so long and drawn out, and I don't even halfway understand the rules.
I think that's a different version of it, though. It's a little faster pace.
It is. Like with the phone. Definitely is.
Problem, dog. Like we don't go back to our normal roots. Like put the damn phones down and go outside and play. Stop with the phones and the iPads.
This man said touch grass.
Yes, go outside and play. Like I don't know, bro. Like we consumed with the phones, the computers, the streaming, the everything. Like nobody goes outside no more and do anything. Nothing.
No, why would we?
Because that's what we brought up. Like, what's gonna happen if y'all lose y'all? Like, what would happen if y'all lose y'all phones or y'all computers or anything? You got to resort back to the.
Be good. Be chilling.
Oh man. Man.
Listen to my child in the back. Oh.
I'm trying to mute it so y'all don't hear him.
But yeah, I guess, man. Monopoly Go. Okay. All right. I might have to peep it out. I'm more of a Uno type of person,
You know what I'm actually in the process of doing, bro? Since we're talking about like mobile games and board games and stuff, I'm in the process of trying to learn how to play chess. I'm finally trying to like learn how to play it.
Okay. Chess is more of a. I think you got to have patience.
Yeah, you gotta think. We're trying to play some more games that kind of tap into the thought process a little bit.
Yeah. I'm more of a spades player. I like spades.
I mean, we can always play that, you know what I'm saying? Spades, dominoes, that's the go-tos right there, spades and dominoes.
Chess is not a bad game. I never
Well, me neither. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, as of like Monday, I started trying to teach myself how to play.
Right. So other than that, man, shoot. How everybody work week been? Everybody been good? Everybody been doing all right? Ain't nobody been bothering nobody at work, huh?
Well,
no. Oh Lord. You don't want comments, it?
No, I'm talking about Tay. I'm good.
I'm sorry. I'm smiling from ear to ear. Life is great. Life is great.
You have to share some weight,
Yeah.
That,
It's giving what I wanted to give, these days. It's worth the pain.
Everything good. See what happens when you just trim a little fat,
Let life life.
What?
Get rid of some dead weight, If you lead up to all the conversation we had weeks leading up to this point, we know that's why Tay is so happy right now.
Yeah, the struggle is definitely real.
Everything good. Thanks for asking. That's what's up. And we got 4 more minutes before we get into the main show. So please make sure y'all are clicking that like button, getting us into the algorithm. We have the Guidrys of We've Been in Blended and Blessed podcast coming in to talk with us and to y'all today. So make sure y'all hitting that like button on YouTube.
Yes, for sure. But I'm definitely ready for the positive energy. Last week, they took me into a negative side, like the bad guy, Zig. Like Like, I'm trying not to resort to the bad guy, bro.
They said they wanted him, the bad guy. So I mean,
why?
Give the people what they want, big dog.
Yeah, but why, bro? The bad guy gonna say things that's gonna hurt people's feelings, and I'm not into hurting people.
They don't care about your feelings.
I see that. Apparently, they don't.
Right.
And that's why I say
this episode.
Yes.
We have company, so I'm definitely gonna act right. I'm not gonna act like I'm
No. The Guidrys told you to keep that same energy.
I'm going to act right, okay? We're talking and speaking positive things this episode, so we're not gonna go to that.
We can, but don't change up now because we got company. Like, don't.
This is. I will be one step from this.
Don't go to Taylor to Tay. No, don't do that.
I'm definitely gonna be Taylor.
Teller.
Be Taylor quiet.
Not Taylor. Teller.
Yeah,
Taylor quiet.
Right.
I be Tay
You
talk.
had a lot to say. You had a lot to say last week. A lot to say.
It's a new week, child.
Yeah, you're right. It is a new week. It's all
different vibrations. I've had a great work week. We're gonna continue this life on everywhere, okay?
Hey, really on that. It's almost the end of the work week.
Until next
Blended
Thursday.
and blessed. There we go. Got it.
Yes. We definitely got a good episode for y'all, man. We definitely gonna be. Yeah, don't be quiet. Yeah, she been dropping gems. I give her that. She been dropping gems lately.
Who?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Who?
I guess Tate.
I'm a gem, so why wouldn't I drop gems? Okay. I'm a Gemini. Geminis drop gems.
I guess that's you trying to come with bars. I like that. The bars.
You see it? You like that?
Yeah,
bars. I've been practicing.
Gemini.
Gem.
Gemini. But yeah, man.
Sean, I'm feeling a hat thing I have going on. Like you, I like it. It's giving.
So you trying? So we give my dog some credit. See, look, she give you credit, dog. See?
Yeah, I like the hat thing. I got so many surprises for y'all next week. I'm not gonna actually show y'all until I go live next week because I'm gonna have everything like. I'm gonna give it my all.
Okay.
Wait.
All right. Well, we are a minute away from episode 5.
60 seconds.
A minute away from episode 5. We got our special guests, the Guidrys from the We Blended and Blessed podcast. They will be blessing us with their presence tonight. I definitely need y'all to pull up, support them, support us, support this episode. It's gonna be a good conversation we're gonna definitely have tonight for y'all. And just come kick it with us, man. You know?
What's up, Cobalt? How you doing, bro?
Gems. I think a lot of gems are going to be dropped tonight. You know, I'm here for it.
And if you are tuned in, like, drop some waving hands, say hey, like, we want to know y'all in here. Like y'all, dinner. I feel like y'all being so dry with us tonight. This is
come on now.
See my timeline go.
Right.
Go. You know.
They
enjoying their dinner. You know what I'm saying? They watching us on the big screen.
They can pull out the table, put their dinner on the table. You heard me?
Pull their smartphone out on YouTube.
There you go. Yeah. It's on YouTube on that 75 inch or whatever. Get it out. Like, come on, now. You know?
Definitely.
All right, y'all. Y'all ready for the show?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, let's get it. All right, here we go.
Get out your feelings and stop the killing and run your mouth. We talking east to the west, I'm not bringing back the south. Bases is loaded, 2 strikes and 1 more, I get you out. Let's talk about like adults and sit back and hash it out. Hash it out, 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 and we gon' hash it out. Hash it out, hash it out, hash it out, hash it out. Let's get your cups and sit back and let's talk and hash it out. Men lie and women lie, but numbers don't. We can debate if you want, but I know you really won't. I'ma reach and guess my percentage on the desk. I'm sure like Holmes, detective skills, it be at the max. S Rider, his topics, he bringing me the best. Ziggy the BC be streaming, that man is built for next. Take talk, she wear the dress, but don't try to press. I'm S dotted, them campus smacking, we at your neck. Hash it out, hash it out, hash it out, hash it out, hash it out. hash it out, and we gon' hash it out. Hash it out, hash it out, hash it out, hash it out. Let's get your cups and sit back and let's talk and hash it out. Get out your feelings and stop to kill it and run your mouth. We talking east to the west, I'm not bringing back the south. Bases is loaded, 2 strikes and 1 more, I get you out. Let's talk about like adults and sit back and hash it out.
Yo. Welcome to Let's Hash It Out podcast. Hash It Out Thursdays. It's your boy S. Ryder along with Tay Talks, Ziggy the Beast. We appreciate y'all for being with us tonight. Episode 5. We have a special guest for y'all tonight. But before I introduce him, I got to see how my people are doing. Say, even the community. How y'all doing? Everybody all right? Everybody blessed? I need y'all to talk to me. I need that energy tonight. I need that energy. What's good? What's popping?
I'm good, bro.
Don't need this drive.
Blessed and blended over here.
I need this energy to pick up.
I'm good.
Need to pick up, man. Come on now.
These people are scared to give you energy. Y'all, these people feel like we all feel like we have to behave this episode. Like normally we be ready for fire. Like we feel like we have to be in line.
You got everybody scared from last week, bro.
Right. I didn't get everybody. I don't know.
Not me. No.
No. I don't know.
The sweetest person y'all know.
Right. But before we bring our guests in, we definitely want to thank everybody for pulling up. We definitely appreciate y'all supporting the love that y'all show the show. I definitely need y'all to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's Hash It Out podcast. Subscribe, hit that notification, hit that bell. I need y'all to follow us on all platforms, Facebook, Twitter, what else? TikTok. I don't care. I need y'all to follow us. We need y'all to start.
Sean, you got a TikTok?
Yeah, I got a TikTok.
I ain't never know you had a TikTok.
Look,
he don't be posting on that. He be lurking.
I'm still.
Oh, you one of those.
But I'm still getting used to it. I'm getting used to it. You got to give me some time.
The math is mathing.
Give me some time. But definitely follow us. We definitely have some merch. I definitely need y'all to go to our merch store, purchase a shirt, cup, hat, support the show and stuff like that. But I'm not about to bore y'all because we got a special guest. They are a returning guest from last season. A lot of y'all requested them to come back on, and we definitely are blessed to have them tonight to be our special guests. They are Wayne and Erica Guidry from the Be Blended and Blessed podcast. I need y'all to show them some love. And I need y'all to definitely welcome them to the episode 5 for Let's Hash It Out podcast. So, Zig, bring our special guest on, and let's start off right. What's up, people?
What's going on?
Hey,
What's up, man?
How y'all doing?
Oh,
good.
man. We blessed, of course.
Definitely rocking the shirt. Y'all see it. Definitely rocking the shirt tonight. Appreciate y'all for that.
Yes. Appreciate it.
So before we get into these topics and have a discussion, Wayne, Erica, I definitely want to give y'all the flow. Tell the people what y'all been up to and tell them where they can follow y'all, where they can watch y'all podcast. Just give them a little update. It's been a minute since y'all been on the show. So give them a rundown of what y'all been up to, man. Let the people know.
So you can check out our platform, We Blended and Blessed podcast on YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to us on the We Blended and Blessed podcast on the Apple Music, iHeartRadio, anywhere you get your major platform, anywhere you subscribe to podcasts, you can check us out. You know, we've been blessed, busy working. It's our kids season for sports and what have you. So we've been spending a lot of time in the ballparks and the basketball gyms and what have you. And then my wife has been busy herself following a new career path, to say the least. You want to share? Go ahead.
I think my husband is more excited than I am. Not that I'm not excited, but I was licensed as a minister. It's not a job because I don't get paid, but it's a thing. It's happening. I'm embracing it. And so, yeah, but I'm a residential engineer. In other words, I'm just a stay-at-home wife, rather, because my kids still go to daycare. So running the house is what I've been up to, and that is like 500 jobs. So yeah.
And you know, we've been watching you guys. You know, appreciate everything that you guys have been doing. Love to see y'all energy, the conversations going back and forth. But this is what I can say to some of the things that you guys been talking about, relationships and the keeping up with the Joneses and what have you. Um, there's nothing better than when you have a woman that's gonna pray over you. So to all your women listeners, all the things that you do, I want you to pray over your man, pray over your family, and bring that level of energy into your household, man. Things will start to change drastically. I can guarantee you that.
Mm.
Well,
Uh,
Already
Word
in the intro.
always on point. I like that. I like that. So have y'all? I mean, y'all kids play basketball and sports. Did y'all participate in sports back in high school? I could see. I could see Wayne as a football player. I could be wrong, but
Yeah, I played ball at John F. Kennedy High School.
okay.
Um, um,
Not
All-star senior
downtown.
year.
sorry.
She, she went to Carr, the
The Edna Car.
after Katrina Carr.
No, it was before Katrina. You are such a hater. Such. Anywho,
Yeah, but I didn't go to play on in college. I went, hit up Dillard University and got my educations on the grind, and try to be an adult before my time. So uh, that's where that ended.
yes, I played volleyball. I ran track for a little bit, and then I cheered. Yep. So
Yeah, but in our house, we are very competitive. We were. My wife was in sales. I'm currently still in sales, and I just believe in competing.
everything.
In everything that we do, really trying to bring the best out of all of our kids, out of each other, iron sharpening iron. Like it never stops. Looking how you can be better, a
Yeah.
better human, a better father, a better husband, of course.
Mhm.
All those things, how we can get better, how we can improve in every facet of life. That's what kind of the train that I'm on,
He
man.
even compete with himself when he washing clothes. Yep.
Washing clothes.
Yep.
Yeah.
He run a marathon like by himself. I guess he want to see how many loads he can wash in a week. And each week he like try to outdo himself, I guess. I don't know. But
Oh,
that just goes to his competitive nature, I guess.
hey, it's
Yep.
nothing wrong with
Man,
that.
say you built different. You
Yeah.
can't
Oh yeah.
explain it.
Oh yeah.
It's from a
Oh,
different club. Yeah,
oh,
but
yeah.
definitely congratulations on y'all many blessings and
Mm-hmm.
career changes, and I'm glad y'all doing well. And for folks that don't remember, we was
Oh, I'm sorry, right. We forgot. I forgot
go
one
ahead,
thing.
go ahead.
We are also later in August, the month of August. We are also launching the Blended and Blessed Family Ministry at Beacon Light Church of Baton Rouge. So we are having an official ministry at the church set up, really trying to bring tools to people that's a part of the church, that's outside of the church, that need to get to church, to help them, get past some of the life challenges that come with, which Steve Harvey said at one point in an interview that he did, one of the most difficult things he did in life was the blending of a family, right?
Mhm.
So what we want to do is try to help produce and bring some education, some tools, and let everybody know that they're not alone in that particular area, right? You're not alone. If you a single mom, single dad, through whatever circumstances, at some point you will become into a blended family, right? So you need to know how to approach that next set of life for yourself. So that's what we want to try to help our people do that.
Oh man,
Yeah.
so well, we definitely will keep our community in tune with that. And y'all can just pass us more information.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely get that out there to the community. That's real dope, man. And I hope that God continuously bless y'all with that step and continuously bless y'all each and every day with that. But before we do get into the topics, I know everybody want to know, for those that just met Wayne and Erica, we met them through our dearly departed brother Dwayne S. Dot Barnes. That's how we was introduced, and I think that was a blessing in disguise right there, because he told me about Wayne and Erica, and then vice versa, and then this is how this came about. And we really been staying in touch and communicating and just making sure we look out for one another and stuff like that. So definitely shout out to our brother that's resting peacefully in heaven, Dwayne, for bringing us together.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Rest in peace, my brother.
All right, so Tay's not about to be silent. We about to get these topics started because we had a lot of chatter last week. But
Y'all had a good show, man. Y'all had a good show, man. I was able to tune in and check y'all out, man.
I think it was an attack on me, Wayne. I'm sorry. I think a lot of people was coming at me for no reason, bro. But it's all love. It's all love. But one of the topics that was on my mind that I kind of wanted to discuss with y'all community. I know that there was something that was said last week, matter of fact, where they said there was a difference between, I guess, a relationship between a man and a woman and marriage. I'm gonna ask y'all first, and then I'm gonna just chime in after. What are some of the challenges that you think that is hard for people to transition from relationship into marriage? Because I know it's a lot of honeymoon phase, if you want to call it that, but I know a lot of challenges can happen along the way between relationship and marriage. So are there any type of challenges that you may endure or you have to face in order to really transition from a relationship into a marriage?
Yeah, I'm gonna go first because I haven't been. This is my first marriage. I would
In her
say,
only marriage. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I
Real
ain't doing
talk.
this again. I would say the greatest challenge is facing yourself. Like, marriage is not about the other person. You learn more about yourself being married than you do about the other person. And then you also have a responsibility to your spouse to show them some areas where they are lacking too. And it can be hard for them as well. I think that was my biggest challenge, like seeing me. Wait, oh yeah, you were wrong. Oh yeah, you didn't have to say that like that. So yeah, it was a lot of humble pie, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like you have to evolve. You have to kind of compromise and sacrifice.
Oh,
Um,
for sure.
you,
Oh, for sure.
it's hard. It's easier said than done. I believe that you have to. A relationship is kind of like the filling out process, but it also takes a lot of patience and understanding. Even with marriage, I'm not married, by the way, but I'm just saying. Outside looking in, I feel like it's a lot of things you have to endure. You have to come to some type of compromise. You have to be willing to sacrifice,
Yes.
willing to learn, willing to really have patience and understanding of your significant other.
Yeah.
Also, really just taking a step back and understanding, like truly, without them even saying anything. I need you
Mhm.
have to take that time out to really spend time with them and really sit down and have multiple conversations, have these hardships.
Yeah.
I think nowadays people just jumping in relationships just to say, "Hey, I'm in one," or they're getting married just to say, "Hey, I got a ring on my finger." And next thing you know, 3 months down the line, divorces happen. Like
Yeah.
I'm seeing so many divorces, whether it's just in regular life or social media, like from people that's been married for like 20 plus years. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know if it's just because of they falling out of love. It's not there no more. You know,
Oh,
that's
it's
why.
work. It's work. You got to
Right.
put it there. It's not going to just stay. You have to put it there and you have to forgive quickly. Like, you have to make up
Yeah.
in your mind that I'm not going to hold this grudge. Like, something can happen, but if we don't communicate, stuff don't get done for the kids. Stuff don't get done for the household. Stuff don't get done for each other. So you have to be willing to forgive very quickly.
Yeah, that's because there's no victory in being mad and
Mm.
staying mad.
Right.
Like I'm not talking to him no more. I'm not gonna talk to her right now. And then it go on for longer than 24 hours.
Yeah.
To where we wake up in the morning still mad. There's no victory, there's no education, there's no learnings when you stay mad. So I think the biggest transition from relationship to marriage really comes into play where people were doing things when they were in a relationship and really dating one another. They get married and they just say, I don't need to have sex no more. I'm gonna ration it out. I don't need to go on dates anymore. I'm gonna ration that out. I don't need to spend any time with my man or my woman. or she's going to be there, and then we take our partners for granted, right? And then we just have this transition phase, and when you look back, you're like, at what point did you continue your investments? Because when we're dating someone, fellas, we'll be doing all kind of stuff. We'll be super nice, understanding, right? When we're chasing that woman that we really want to be with, we do a whole lot of things
Yeah.
in that relationship period. But then when we get into to marriage, that the work stops, and that's when the work should really kind of kick in another level, because now you have a contract commitment that's a covenant.
That says don't switch up on me.
Yeah.
Period.
Keep
Don't switch up.
keep that same energy, man. Keep that same energy.
Don't
So
switch up.
when people go from that relationship to the marriage, you know, the things that they did to start, they stop them, because sometimes we send our representative out there in those dating scenarios, not our true self. You know, so sometimes you gotta that representative, you either gonna be that person consistently,
Yeah.
or you gonna let your real self come to play. That's why folks always say, man, I'm just so glad I can be myself, man. She appreciate me, he appreciate me for me just being me. And that's where that you know, when you talk, and then from there you can grow, you can evolve, right? Because eventually you have to evolve as people. That's kind of inevitable, because you know somebody's going to evolve, and then when you're not, then that's when you look at
Creates
20
the
plus years
separation.
of
Yeah.
the, you know, of marriage, and then they get divorced, right? You know.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's something that I really like, just in life in general. You know, you can't take anything for granted. I feel like if you're after somebody and you really have an interest in someone and you really want to be with them, you're going to do everything in your power, not only to get them, but just to keep them and make sure that they can, like, they feel protected. They feel like there is nobody else in this world that can make me happy like you do. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it's a social media thing or the influences. Like last week we talked about, either do we let our friends or our families really make us think twice about the person that we're with, or they try to put something in our ear. I don't, you know, that person is not for you. They're not compatible for you. Why you chose that person? And why you trying to date this person? Why you want to marry? They don't look like the marriage type. That has to stop. And that's been going around a lot. And I feel like at the end of the day, you control what you can control. Whoever makes you happy, don't let anybody control your happiness or who you should date or who you should marry or be with. You know, at the end of the day, it's your life, and you have to make sure that if this person, when you wake up in the morning, that's the first person you think of. Of course, we thank God, but if this is the first person on your mind, and the last, last thing on your mind at night, the smaller things that we take for granted at now, you know, the good morning texts, the flowers, the dates. I'm not talking about the fancy dinners. Of course, those are nice, but I'm talking about the
little things.
Right, the picnics, the surprises, like little boat rides, or just something out the ordinary. You know, just the little things to keep the relationship fresh. But the biggest thing is evolve. I feel like every day you have to evolve at least 1%. Each day you get 1% better at something, whether it's your career, relationship, marriage, whatever. You gotta understand that when you're in a partnership, you have to be able to evolve. You know, not saying you have to change yourself, but you have to try to adapt, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you got to be intentional in your interactions, right?
Yeah.
You know, with your partner.
But wait, I got a question though. So you said not taking advice from people who are saying that person's not good for you. What, like, I have to beg to differ just a little bit, because there are
It's a double-edged sword.
It is, because if this person, and for me it's typically spiritual, but if this person is like wise counsel, somebody who, you know, is at a different level, or somebody you look up to, a mentor or a spiritual father, mother, or whatever, and they're telling you, hey, I don't know about that, you know, this, that, I do think you should heed or take caution Because we can all think of a time where our moms or dads said, that person don't mean you no good. And then come to find out they really didn't mean you no good. And you could have saved yourself a whole lot of
Right.
heartache. And so
Hmm.
I do think it should be taken into consideration. But that's why it's so important to like have like discernment and then be like looking out for whether or not people just coming from a hurt place or if they really coming from a place of, hey, you're in lust right now. You're in la la land. I need you to snap out of it. This is not long term. Have fun, do what you do, see what you like, what you don't like, but this ain't it. So I
Right.
do. Before we move on, I would want to say
And
Oh, that
another
is true.
thing,
There's
and
both
another
sides to
thing
it.
that you mentioned, Tay, and I was in right, I was in a men's group and having a conversation with some men about relationships and everything on Tuesday night, um, and it's about happiness, right? And I think we do this often. I learned from a counselor. He told me one time. He said, "You are only responsible for your own happiness.
Mm.
You are not responsible for no one else's happiness. Happiness is something that's inside of you, right? Because if I do one thing or I don't meet the need or I don't move the certain way, now you're unhappy because I did something or that I didn't do something that you expected of me or did not expect of me, right? We shouldn't give people that much control on how we go through life, right? So if we approach happiness is that I'm happy before I even see this woman, right?
Right.
But then when I see and we connect, it's like, oh man, I'm doing that much better, right? Sometimes we start
Hmm.
our day in a mood, man. I wake up every morning, man, go get a workout in, go get a read in, or go, get a do whatever. I'm blessed just to have woken up this morning, right? And then I'm happy. And then when I see people, see my wife, see my kids, then that just makes me feel good, right? But
Hmm.
Right.
sometimes we give everybody else so much credit for them making us happy when we should already arrive to the place of that we're happy already. Now you're just complimenting my position, right,
Mhm.
of being happy.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
Like it's a whole mindset. The way that what I'm getting from Wayne and both Erica is like you wake up in a whole different mindset. You're already waking up with a thankful mindset. When you wake up in the morning, thank you for waking me up this morning. Like the old folks said, starting me on my way.
Mhm.
You know
Start
what I'm
me on my way.
saying? Instead of already worrying about tomorrow's problems, like just be thankful you even woke up and started
Yeah.
blinking.
Right.
So
Right.
that's actually a good point. And then what Wayne said a few minutes ago or a few seconds ago when he said, find that happiness within yourself. Because I think sometimes, I mean, I know we're talking about relationships right now, but sometimes we get in the habit of trying to please others, and sometimes it just ain't working. And sometimes it's like, they have to find that happiness within themselves. You might mean well, but I've seen people almost get themselves into a depression trying to make other people happy. So I
Right.
really like how Wayne touched on that because that was a very good point.
Yep.
That was.
He's good for that.
Hey, my
But,
dog. Hey,
but
both of y'all, both of y'all doing y'all thing. But
No,
yeah,
I'm
No, I'm
telling you,
just
man.
messing with
I
you.
done been through some bad, some good, some ups and some downs, especially when it comes to relationships. So now,
Before me.
before my
Yeah.
wife, of course,
Let's just be clear.
but now it's the mindset of, I want to be the best husband for this woman. But more importantly, I want us to be the best image of parents and husband and wife to
mm,
display to our children, right? Because they all have these cell phones and all that other stuff. They all have TikTok, Instagram, and they, be on all that, the social media pages. But there's not enough positive energy, right? Of seeing like the Huxtables back in the day, right? Of seeing family matters type, seeing black people thrive with one another. So
right.
that's the mindset that I'm on. I want to show them how I can love this woman and how that love can be reciprocated so that
Mm-hmm.
one day they can grow up thinking that it's okay that they can show affection to their partner, that they can, be in a thriving relationship. They don't have to be in one that's toxic, dysfunctional and things just because my parents stayed in a relationship that was dysfunctional, that I can grow up too. And if my relationship dysfunctional, it's okay. I want to just trash that whole idea for the black community. Our divorce rates are way too high. We need to rid that idea, and we need to work on becoming the best person of ourselves. And then when we join with another vessel, we become the best vessel together.
Mm, mm.
And he
Preach.
does it again. Who really was licensed? I don't even know, y'all. I don't even know.
But,
You know, I love my black people, man. I love
Right.
when we celebrate anniversaries and all that kind of stuff, right? You know, when we see black people thriving in relationships, you know, I love to see that. You know, anybody that's in a relationship or anybody that, you know, it's like the people, the social media, these negative connotations about relationships, about marriages, it's set up that way
Mhm.
and designed just for black people,
Yeah.
right?
And the
White people don't
ignorance.
do that. Asian people don't do
Yeah.
that. Mexicans and so on and so forth. Indians don't do that. Only in the black community, we talk about relationships like they are thorns in our side, and talk
Yeah.
about marriage like it's the worst thing you can ever commit to. But it's because we putting that into it. If we put the worst thing that ever happened, if we put these all negative thoughts and actions into a marriage, into any relationship, you
Yeah.
will 100% get that back.
Yeah. And I think there's so much ignorance just around marriage, and people are confused on roles and what does this look like. And as far as I'm concerned, God pretty much painted the picture. It's very clear what the art of marriage is. And if we follow that and have that foundation, we're gonna be okay.
Absolutely.
Really gonna be all right.
okay, we up. But the social media world, it seems like
Yeah.
everybody wants to live a social media standard,
Mm-hmm.
trying to live their
Live the
own.
highlights.
Yeah.
Yes, like
Yeah.
I don't get it, and I really don't understand it. I understand it's you can use Instagram and all these platforms for all type of reasons and ways to either become better in something or whatever, but it has so much of negativity.
Yeah. Everybody has an opinion. Yep.
Right. And guess what? All you can do is respect it. You don't have to agree with it. I mean, everybody's going to say what they say, and you have to just listen to it. And either you respect it, you agree with it. But at the end of the day, though, it just seems like a lot of people, they don't take relationships serious no more. And you brought up a great example, like the Huxtables and all of this black love that we're accustomed to seeing, even with our
Mhm.
own, you know what I'm saying? Even with the 50-50 situation. That's one of the topics that's constantly thrown around where, oh no, if he's not doing this, then that's a no. Or you gotta do this in order for this.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that 50-50 rule.
Oh no, it's not real. I'm
It's
sorry. It's
not.
not real.
Yeah.
Because some days I may only literally have 2% to give. He gonna have to carry the 98.
And I think
And
that's
vice versa.
right.
He may only have 1. I'm gonna have to carry the 99. So, but if
Mhm.
he coming with 1, he giving me something to work with. And so if he showed up with 1% as his wife, as his partner, I said I do. Better or worse. So if we on worse, I'm gonna have to hold it down until
Mhm.
we reach a different percentage.
Right.
And that's just how that's gonna go.
And Wayne brought up something that was interesting when he said to all the women out there to pray over your man. I think that's a big thing too. As us black men, it's really hard for some of us to really open up and to be more emotional. It's not. I think because society has told us or taught us, hey, you cannot cry, you cannot let your weakness be shown. You have to be strong, and you have to keep all of this balled up inside. And I think that's another reason why some relationships or marriage fails, because it's just a misunderstanding. Oh, I don't want to hear you being emotional. You can't be emotional around me. I need a man that's strong. And you got to be almighty. Put all that on the back burner. That is,
I'm different. I'm
yes,
different. I need to see emotion. And I tell my husband, if you can't share your deepest, darkest secrets, fears, insecurities, if you can't give them to me, who
right.
can you really, outside of God, who can you really give them to? If you don't, I want that kind of intimacy. I want to know what makes you afraid. I want to know those things. And I'm not saying I have to force him to talk, because men have to give because they get in their head. So they have to have a moment to process and come out of their head and be ready to talk about it. But I need emotion. Don't be strong all the time. I need to know that, hey, you got feelings in there? Because you have to. But sometimes it's not safe for men to do that. And I wish that we can break that stigma. Like even now, like we have preteens. I asked him I asked him a question about him sharing his emotions or his feelings about something, and he was like, nah, I don't really like to do that because people be trying to clown you about sharing your feelings, and you don't know how people gonna respond to you when you put your feelings out there. So at 12, you are in this thing about wanting to be expressive, but you can't because your peers are teasing you or whatever the case may be. It starts at 12. And so then when you get a full grown man who been, keeping their feelings in since they were 12 or younger, they got to unlearn all of that.
It's like a volcano.
Yeah.
Ready to erupt at the right juncture. And as I grow older, what I'm really learning, what it's truly about with the emotions and then being strong and what have you, it's really about having a level of balance, right? Because at the end of the day, we are wired to be the strong, dominant, forceful creatures, right? By nature. So we still must maintain a bit of that. And we also see it, I see it in my young boys when it comes to when they're playing sports and they get overly emotional on the court, and they do things and it's like, yo, what are you doing? This is not the right time to have the emotions, right? So we still have to have a level of balance, and that's the part that we really got to teach our kids about how to have those emotions kind of in a balance and centered, not just being no emotions, but not being overly emotional, right? Because when they're overly emotional, it comes out at the wrong place at the wrong time, and they look at you like, how you gonna cry on the basketball court, man?
That's for women too.
How you gonna cry on a softball field, right? This is not the time for that activity. But don't be so bottled up to where no one knows what you're thinking, and then when somebody puts something that's out of place, you blow up, and then you just go in.
Yeah, and I agree. No, they don't care about your feelings. And I also tell my son, this world does not care about you. They don't. I said, but if you can't come to me, then who can you go to? Like, you have to be able to keep it 100 with somebody. Like, you have to. We had that conversation today. Like, you gotta be able to keep it a buck. If you can't, it's gonna be hard.
That's true.
The world don't care about you. So you gotta learn it in home. You got to know what care feels like at home. You have to affirm, reaffirm. You have to tell your children who they are and all of these things to teach them, like you said, the balance of it. There's a time and place for every single thing. And you got to know which one. By the time you leave out here to go out into the world, you have to know what's what. How do you manage? How do you navigate life? And we still going to be here to help you as you navigate life. But you gotta have the foundation. Yep.
Yeah.
Bruh, I like it.
Yeah.
What you got, Ryder?
What is Tay? I mean, I'm
just listening to the gems. Like,
I'm here for the gems.
Like, I've heard of that before, but the way y'all really dissecting it with the balance, like, you have to know when your emotions have to be on display and when it's not. I mean, I think that's really the main thing. I feel like, especially just with your woman in general, if she can't be your safe haven, the one, I just need to talk without any type of negative kind of criticism,
cutting you off.
Yeah,
like, what's up with you lately or whatever. If I can't come to you and be like, just come to you and have a conversation.
Yeah,
that's
another transition from relationship to marriage too, because now you're entering into a new level of intimacy, right? And so whatever I guess I'll speak from my own experience, whatever front that you're putting up, right? Because I was a big time gangster. I still am, because don't test me, don't play with me. But as far as I am, but as far as I had to be. I had to be.
That was
I'm just saying.
and it is I'll just laugh at this because when
Nah, let me finish.
go
No.
ahead.
But as far as I had to display that I can be the safe haven, I had to let down my guard. I had to come off of my gangster tip and be the feminine wife, to be the submissive wife in the term that is intended, not what everybody else say submission is, but be the submissive wife so that he can open up. So that, you know what, okay, this is different from all of the other relationships that I've ever had. Maybe I am safe with her. And you go out living your life, living your truth, doing your own work, so that way it can be a source of healing. Because the right relationship can heal you. It really can. You can do the therapy work and all of that, but sometimes you just need the right person. So I had to stop being a gangster for him. Like, I'm still like that, but for him,
only when you're provoked. Only when you're provoked.
yeah. I ain't no killer, but don't
Wayne was like, that's factual.
don't push me.
Oh, she go real quick for her family, without a doubt.
Yeah, for
Right?
sure.
0 to 100.
Yeah, 0 to 100 real quick. Real quick.
Don't play with my man and don't play with my children.
This whole this thing, and I talked to some guys just early this week, man. So just I had kind of double doses this week of this kind of energy and trying to bring this out. But I told the guys early this week, vulnerability exists and it thrives in centers of peace. And a safe haven is created. That vulnerability, I want my man to be vulnerable for me. We have to, or my wife or my woman, you have to create a safe place to be able to do that. A no judgment place for that energy to thrive. And once you do that, you can close your door. You can be hard as you want for your family, your kids, in the public, and then get behind closed doors. If you want to break down and cry, do whatever in front of your woman, and y'all have a heart-to-heart talking about anything, any challenge, any worries, any struggles, or whatever, you can have that conversation with your woman in behind closed doors. That safe place need to be honored. Now, look at him. You get closing the door and want to do all this. That's weak, right? That safe place has to be created. And when you create that safe place, man, you can be vulnerable with your partner, and it's all good.
I went ahead and just added that to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and post that like tomorrow.
Yeah. So very small aside. So like throughout the season, we add quotes to our ticker at the bottom. So just go ahead and add that, Wayne, to the ticker at the bottom. Vulnerability thrives in the center of peace.
Yeah, man.
That's a banger, bro. I like that.
Yeah.
That's it.
And put that on the shirt.
For real. And then just to women, because he mentioned praying, just as a married woman, but even as single women, like, you can still exude peace as a single woman. Like, it don't have to just be, because the truth is, you're a wife before you ever enter marriage, right? So you don't just become you change, you evolve, but the things that you need, you already have in you for the most part. You just have to do the work to make sure it's there. So you can be a woman of peace even before you get married. So if you're not there yet, then you work towards that, because those are the things you need for a healthy marriage. So if, sometimes we have to be real with ourselves. Do I keep up the confusion? If you do, then you work towards not being so, I guess, responsive when you don't have to be. Take a step back and, you know what, I'm gonna just lay back in the cut and I'm not gonna respond so quickly. And then you start making little changes towards being at peace. So then when that man does find you, he'll have a safe haven. And then you both win, because he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor. And then you end up being his safe haven to where you guys can really thrive together. So
you should already be praying, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. Pray. You got to pray about everything.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to find your partner that you're destined with, your soulmate, that person that has you equally yoked and all that other good stuff,
Yeah.
man, you better call on somebody, and not on, not 911. Call on a higher power, man.
Yeah.
Call somebody for help and getting that guidance that you need.
Look at
Yes.
that. We got Justin Rabin. He said, "I love hearing these people's commentary. They bring a different level of maturity into perspective." So we have some of our
Yeah.
listeners are really loving this
Appreciate
commentary
you,
that the
Justin.
Guidrys are bringing in. So,
And I did see my uncle on there. I just want to say, hey, uncle.
oh man, shout out to wait, which one? Which one's on?
It was
Well,
Oliver
will it be?
Willoughby.
Oh,
He
man,
put
Oh,
his
shout out to
comment up there.
Uncle in the house.
Yep.
Unc said she will go in. So yeah, he was definitely down.
He watched me grow up. So if he knew me before marriage, after marriage.
Hey, shout out to
So
Unc
yeah.
and everybody else that's listening in, and once again,
Yes.
shout out to the Guidrys and their community that's coming over. We
Yeah.
definitely appreciate it. So, what you got, S. Ryder, for our guests? S. Ryder?
Oh, I think he froze.
Oh, my dog froze.
He
That's
hit
fine.
me.
So, I guess we'll just kind of pivot until he gets back in. But how long? I guess one of the things I've kind of learned in marriage is, and kind of seeing how things are working now and the direction things are going now, is people don't have the patience. People want that final product at the beginning of the marriage, and the first time somebody and of course everybody's boundaries and their breaking point is different,
Mm-hmm.
case by case basis. It's a flowing variable, but how do you maintain that balance of like going through the rough period and maintaining that level of stability in the family? Like you said earlier, there is going to be ups and downs, and you're going to have those periods of mad and being angry and different things like that. But how do we get people to learn to not run at the first sign of trouble, I guess, is
Mm-hmm.
what I'm getting at, because that's what it seems like people are doing. Like, you know some people you might go to McDonald's and not tell your wife or something, and they're already at the court ready to divorce you. It's like, in a joking way,
Yeah.
but of course, just
Seriously
like
though.
people are willing to throw everything all away at the snap of a finger. So
Yeah.
it's like, how do we maintain that strength and stability
I think
through trouble?
communication number
Mhm.
Yeah.
one. Communication number one. I think respect number two, because you have to respect their position, what they're thinking, what they're saying, and on communicate with them and communicate with God. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, if y'all don't want to hear about God, don't talk to me, because He in the equation every step of the way.
Right.
You have to. Some things you have to go to God in prayer about. Like,
Mhm.
you have to. And then again, like I said, communication, to respect them. I think those are two key things to get through. Because if
Mhm.
my dad always said, two people that can effectively communicate about anything, they can be successful.
That's
So,
true. That's in anything. That's a good point.
Put that at the bottom. Please put that at the bottom now.
well, I'm gonna give that to Pastor Eric A. Williams, because that is not mine. That is him. The men in my life, just they come with these one-liners. They come with these punchlines, and that's how
Can
they
you
get
say it one
through
more time, Miss Erica?
it. Two people.
Put on the spot.
I'm glad you did that to her, Ziggy, because I can tell you, it's hard for me to say the same
To
thing
say the
twice.
same thing
I
twice
go, my brain
I know
starts
you be
going
off
on
the
to the
cuff
next
and you
thing.
already.
off the cuff, but two people can get through anything with effective communication.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, and I would say this, and I think you talk about the whole, like, somebody just said, not a divorce, not over the Big Mac, huh? But what it's
Right.
really about is a compounded effort in different situations that happen, that you stay mad for a period of time, and while you're staying mad, something else happens. So now it's a compound effect. My thing is, I never want to go, and I say never, and I want to use an absolute word there, because I do not, and I never like going to bed mad at this woman for something that didn't happen. Like, I've tried it before, and going against my own will, because I am so conscious and want to be intentional about this, that I can't sleep at night, right? So in order for me to get some sleep, I got to come back to her and say, you know what? I thought about what had happened, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say that was my bad.
And I'd be like, do tell.
You know,
Tell me more.
I didn't handle that
That's
the right
fixed up.
way. And I'm gonna go ahead and make the adjustment because that's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times we ask our partner, "Can you make this adjustment, please? Can you make the adjustment?
Mm-hmm.
I'll really appreciate if you make the adjustment
Without asking for the
without
adjustment.
asking for the adjustment."
And so when he comes to me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm open and willing to communicate because
Mm-hmm.
imagine, even if it took him 6 hours to come to terms with whatever he came to terms with, if he's
Mm-hmm.
ready to communicate with me and I'm like, nope, you should have did it an hour ago. Nope, you should have told me that 2 hours
Mm.
ago. Now it's like now you have a different issue. But
Mm.
But
when
that goes back to the safe place
yeah,
of vulnerability,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if I'm
Dang, that's
coming back to you
mm-hmm,
and I'm telling you, look, yo, shorty, my bad, right?
facts though.
I
Yeah.
I ain't handle that right.
yeah,
So because I didn't handle it right, I'm coming to you. I'm gonna go ahead and own it, and I don't need you throwing it in my face. Because
yeah,
a lot of times when we have a disagreement, you got something on your side too
yeah, for sure,
that you didn't say it did you respond the correct way,
yeah.
right?
And then I
Mm.
typically offer an apology for whatever part I played in it because no person is perfect. And if you don't think you didn't, you better find something that you could have did better to make the conversation, less one-sided. Because if truthfully, when he opened his mouth, it's not like, hey, I'm sorry. He'll just be like, hey. So if I turn around and I'm like, what? It's
Already
it's
combative.
already
Mm-hmm.
downhill from there. So you have to it's conscious, like, and it's never ending. So if this is right before bed, and I mean the Bible speaks about that. You can be angry, but don't sin in your anger. So like don't do anything that's gonna make that
Mm-hmm.
go even further. Like, yes, it's okay to be upset, but you have to communicate when you don't want to and when you want to.
Because
That's also a good point too, Erica. You said it's okay to be upset.
it's
Yeah.
okay. It
So
is
yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what's funny is, because I'm on this journey with her, my wife is on the spiritual journey. She's been into the Bible her whole life. I grew up Catholic. She grew up Baptist. So
Mm-hmm.
some of the things that we do in the Catholic Church and the Baptist Church, they don't even
It's
exist in the
just
same.
different.
They just different, right? So now I'm really learning more about the Bible, and then sometimes I'll be if I'm upset with her, if something happened in my world, and I go and read the Bible, and I'll be like, wow.
Mhm.
Wow, like
Mhm.
I can't even this thing then mess me all up because now I can't even this position I see it right here in the Bible. It's like, you know what, this happened. This is how God showed them that this is not the way that He wanted us to live, and so on and so forth. I gotta change my approach. It's right here in the word. So we can't
Mm-hmm.
pick and choose the stuff that's in our favor when it's black and white. You gotta agree with it and say, you know what? It got me again.
Yeah. And I'd just be like, okay. Cause that's why you got to pray. Because when you pray, when you pray, I mean, it's gonna be good. Like the answers, they come, they really do. And
Mm-hmm.
even you check yourself. Like the Bible will check you too. Like, nah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
gets you
get you
straight.
together.
I call it a big soap opera because I was reading something the other night. I was like, no, huh? So, but just to that goes back to you want to find that that level with your partner, that compatibility with your partner. You're talking about that transition from relationship to marriage, right? That's a part of it right here, right?
Yeah,
Because if she say I want to make this journey, I want to go down this road, right? And if I'm like, okay, cool, and then I want to stay the same, I'm
it's not
never
gonna work.
evolving,
Yeah,
it won't work, right? She feel like I got this calling. I need to go and do this. At some point, I gotta say, you know what? I need to embrace you in what's particular your calling. I need to go ahead and support that. So in efforts to support that, I got to change some of my ways.
yeah.
Change some of the things that I do, my mindset, right? And I got to figure out, am I missing out on something?
Yeah.
You know, am I missing out on this word, this message? Am
Yeah.
I missing out on things that was going to make me a better father, a better husband,
Yeah.
right? Am I missing out? Because if I'm saying I want to be the best husband, I need all the tools I can get, because
Yeah.
this thing, marriage, is a marathon.
Yeah,
I
for
need I
sure.
need to get my reps in every day.
Yeah. And I told him, like, when um like, for me, you have to study to show yourself approved, right? So if
True.
I'm licensed to preach, I can't preach my opinion. That is a negative. And just because I've been in the Bible all my life, there's still more to learn. There's, fresh revelation. And I don't be like, oh, well, since you ain't been in the Bible all your life, we can't even do this together. No. I tell him, I don't want to leave you on this journey. I don't. I don't want there to be any separation between us on this journey.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
It's not. I'm bringing my bags, everything. Cell
but
phone,
I
charger.
brought it to him. I didn't tell him, you need to read your Bible more. You need to pray more. You need to figure out what you need to do. Mm-mm.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't want this to cause, because this is God. Now, if God calls separation between a marriage, then that means we just not meant. So if there is anything for us to be together, I don't want this to cause any kind of separation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna let you sit with that. And now, as a man, because men love to problem solve, right? Give him a problem, and he gonna go to work. Don't tell him what he needs to do. Tell him what you let him think. Like, think about women. So if you be like, "Hey, babe, this went like this today. I want to tell you my day." Blah blah blah. He start telling you,
Why
"Well,
don't you just do?
why don't you just do this?" Well, hold up. I just wanted to tell you how my day went. I didn't want you to give me a solution. I didn't want you to solve it. So
Guilty. Guilty.
yeah. Oh, this one all the time. So
I'm right. Zig, my brain start working.
yeah,
Why don't y'all just do
You know,
this? We still on this? Watch it.
Yeah, I get
So,
I get my wrenches out, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Let's fix this.
So present it to, and I think that's the thing too. I saw somebody put a comment about, like, emotions and not being able to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this
Raven.
video
Mhm.
from a long time ago, from Bishop T.D. Jakes, and he was talking about how women and men are so different, and the way we communicate is so different. And when you learn how they
Yeah.
communicate, and men take the time to learn how women communicate, then you begin to be able to say, you know what, okay, those are emotions. Okay,
Mhm.
that's not what they're really saying. Okay, let me give them a minute. And then when you start to position stuff in a way that they can understand, not manipulation to try to make them move, no, genuinely saying, hey, this is what I'm dealing with, he gonna go problem solve for sure. For sure. He be coming to me, hey, I got this devotional I want to read.
Wow.
All I had to do was say, hey, here's what I'm faced with. And he found the solution. It's a key. It's a marriage key. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's nice, dude. Like I said, it's a rarity to hit these type. Like, this is gems that I think a lot of us are taking in to try to
Mhm.
better our relationships or marriages, and whatever in the near future or whatever like that. And I do have a question for Wayne and Erica, and the beautifulness of marriage and stuff like that. A lot of people mess it up because of cheating.
Mhm.
What piece of advice for, I guess, the younger generation, I guess the youth, that that just feels like, man, I gotta have multiple women, and I ain't gonna never be married or relationship, or if they do have somebody that's special, they take them for granted because hey, look how I look, like they're not going nowhere. Look what I have, like they're not gonna leave me because I have this. What piece of advice that you can give to the youth that are not make them take for granted something that's could be possibly a blessing for them in the near future? Like, just in general, not cheat on somebody that's really that one for them.
I'm gonna go first because Wayne, he be coming with the profound one punch. He come with the knockout.
I need both.
Right? So for me, I say, for young people, success is such a big thing in this world, right? Wealth and riches and success and however people define that. When you look at the most successful people, the most successful, I mean, like, they have a portfolio, they have the house, they have a great career, they have a relationship with God, and two things: they have a relationship with God and they're married. The most successful people. And so if you want something to emulate, you look at that, right? The most successful people are married and they honor their marriage. Meaning, because what the truth is, you can find joy in having sex with just one person. Let me just put it out there. You don't need multiple people to fulfill your desires. What you have to do, once again, communicate. Communicate to your wife, to your husband, what you need, because the truth is things change. We're human. Bodies change, your desires change, your likes change. You may have wanted to be touched right there 5 years ago, but not no more because kids didn't change. All of the things. But you have to communicate. Mm-hmm. If your husband wants you to swing from the ceiling, notice I said husband, sweetheart, swing from the ceiling if that's what your husband is asking you to do. Men, if your wife is saying, babe, I need you to go slow. I don't need you to go hammer all the time. Husband, I need you to go slow when the
down.
Marathon.
Recite the alphabet backwards. Do something.
Hello, somebody.
Calm yourself down. Yeah.
I recite
the alphabet. He just
start naming presidents.
Ziggy dropped the nugget.
I thought it was football, man. Football, man.
No, back in the day, it is the ABCs.
I thought it was football this whole time.
Write the name. Spell it out. Figure it out. Think about the longest word you can think of and say it, spell it 100 times. But you have to communicate, and then you have to make the adjustments, and you cannot be offended when your partner is giving you feedback into your sex life, because I would imagine I can't speak for a man, but from a man's perspective, it's because they're not getting something that they want. My question is, did you ever say that's what you wanted? And if the answer is yes and the woman didn't, for me, I think you have an obligation to try and fulfill that. And if you're struggling in any area with fulfilling what they're asking you, then that's also, again, communication. So that would be my communication. I gave a little more than
that's that C word that's been coming up for 3 seasons, Sean.
Yeah.
It come up, Ziggy, because it is the real thing, right? Mm-hmm. And then being receptive to communication, right? A lot of times,
But wait, just talk about the cheating part. Make sure you tell the people how not to cheat.
How not to cheat. Mm-hmm. What I believe is, when you was in that relationship and you cut all them other girls off, you cut them other guys off, right? How you started that process, you have to learn and continuously build from that moment on, right? And continue on with that process. What happens is people get into the marriage, then they figure, oh, I don't have to do that no more. I ain't got to do that. True, he wanted 3 times a week, 4 times a week. Shoot, I ain't doing all that. He'd be lucky if he did it.
Better get you some water, the calmer water. Do whatever you got to do. Ashwagandha, they say that helps. Figure it out.
Just
figure it out.
And then when we start rationing out the sex part of our life, we start rationing out the talking to one another, being available for one another. As people, we look for things to fill voids, right? So if you continue to make the deposits into your relationship, there's a greater chance that you won't be tempted to cheat.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of times you get tempted to cheat, and you accept the advance to cheat because there's a void that exists in your relationship with your partner.
Right.
Unless you're just completely selfish and you just don't care and you just want to be wild and all. But then I would say for you,
just don't get married.
Marriage not for you.
Don't get married.
No, if you're gonna continue to rock in such a way, right? Don't get married. Don't hurt that woman don't hurt that woman's family. Don't
Mhm.
hurt your family, right? Your
Mhm.
friends and everything else, because it's two worlds colliding, right?
Yeah.
You have to say, you know what? I'm done with all that.
Yeah.
This woman, she rocks my world in more ways than one. From the sex game to the mental game, from the business game, all that. You know, this woman does it for me. This man does it for me. So in order to stop the cheating, you got to do those things that you did in the beginning
Yeah.
to attract that person, and you got to compound them things over time,
Yeah.
and then be open. So when you talk about communication, hey, look, I would appreciate if you do this. Don't
Yeah.
get in your feelings and like, I ain't doing that.
And
I'm gonna
think
do
you've been
me.
just like a rock star all these years. Well, yeah, you probably was for somebody else, but she needs you to be a different kind of rock star.
'Cause
He
everybody's
needs you to
different.
be a different kind of rock star, and that's okay. We talk about it, and I say, I mean, and we all grown here. Sex is an art,
Yeah.
right? It's not like 1 + 1 = 2. It don't work that way. So what works for one person may not work for another person. You got to find your thing and let that be the excitement. Figure out what works for y'all. Go on a journey to understand what each other likes and focus on that. When you put all of the energy back into your house, put it into your house, then you're not going to want to look outside. When people approach me, hey, how you doing? Hello, how are you? What's your name? Happily married. That's all I got for you.
Done.
That's it. Because I'm going home to my man.
Open and shut case.
That's it. One person responded back to me and said, oh, you gave me your full name. And did. Happily married. First and last.
But you
That's
know,
all I got for you.
that doesn't even work nowadays.
I shut it down. He had to respect that.
The real, it's crazy though. It's the real, like, all right, so happily married. You can't still have friends, or what? That doesn't mean anything.
Well, and you tell me that, oh no, I don't have friends. My husband is my best friend. Oh, that's my only friend. I love him so much. Yeah, we friends forever.
But that's the generation we live in now.
Yeah, so you just have to have an answer for it.
But
That's all.
but
I got one.
And I think too though, right, though, it's about our parents teaching our children that. Right? If you've been taught your whole life how to respond to scenarios and situations, you will be equipped for war. You equipped to defend your marriage, right?
Mhm.
You equipped to defend the things that matter most to you, right? So if your parents put that in you, and then you seen those examples, man, look, man, baby, look, I'm good. You heard me? I'm good. I got I got a tan. You heard me? I got a tan, man. I'm not even. I ain't
hit him with the
you
you
know?
heard me.
Yeah, like I'm good out here, but you gotta. It's okay to somebody. Oh, you flirting? Okay, yeah, I'm in sales, so sometimes I can be a bit of a flirt, but I won't be disrespectful to my partner.
Right.
So cheating, man, that you when you cheat on somebody, you cheat on your partner. A lot of times, once you're finished, you're like, damn,
I shouldn't have did that.
I shouldn't have did that. Now you living in paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I hope, man, my phone, I gotta move different. So then your partner said, man, this Negro
Like, you
move
good?
different.
Yeah.
You good?
Because one thing you can't do with me, baby, you can't switch up. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, so both sides people start to switch up and they move different, and like, man, what's up with you? And that whole idea of trying to do that to your partner, then more, if you got kids and you cheating on your wife, I want you to say, I'm gonna tell my kids what I'm doing. If you can't tell your kids, you can't tell your mother, you can't tell your father what you're doing, then right from there, you don't do it.
Yeah.
Live a transparent life. Period.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think people like that truth.
And the thing is, the world is still the world is the world, right? They're gonna have people that are evil. They're gonna have people that's wicked. There's gonna have people that's out to come against your marriage. Like,
coming.
The enemy is real, so we can't pretend like that's not out there. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And what do you want to destroy the most? Families, marriages. So it's coming. It's coming, but are you gonna give into that, or are you gonna honor your marriage? because I'm gonna
Facts.
honor my husband.
But then that goes back to right up. You know, are we teaching our young people to be committed to something?
Yeah.
From the littlest things,
Even
from
even
their
children,
job,
from children.
everything from children. Are you teaching them how to be committed to something, right?
Right.
From their sports that they want to sign up for,
And then
they-
quit.
and then quit.
Nope.
You know, their job, they want to just somebody they got an attitude today. I ain't got to put up with this. I'm out of here,
Nope.
right? So when you have that
Creating them habits.
mentality, it's a habit. So when you get into a relationship, your partner tell you something that you don't like, they say, you know what? I'm out, man. I'm going to the bar. And then you start drinking and you start looking at somebody wave at you. Hey, how you? Oh, what's up? I ain't feeling this. Next thing you know, you're in the back of somebody's car. Come on, man. Right?
Exactly.
Huh?
Right up.
Oh,
Right up.
oh, you can relate, Ryder? You all right, bro?
Ryder.
You was a little too accurate.
He
huh?
hung his head.
No, it like he'll drop a gem, then he'll just knock you out with something like I'm just
Yeah, he was a little too accurate on that for you, huh, player?
nah.
He hit the bullseye. It was a bullseye.
I'm just saying, bro. That's the real
It is.
deal.
Factual.
We can't be like that because the society, in the way it's set up for the black people in particular, it's set up to make us think that is cool. That's what we should be doing, right? That's the things that the rap music and the different things we put out there on social media.
People consuming.
It's consumed because they know we will buy. We are the grace that will buy that nonsense, right? So we can't be consumed or tricked by the enemy that's going to say, yes, infidelity, man, that is so cool. Adultery, that is so cool. Cheating on your woman, cheating on your family, cheating on your parents and everything. Oh, that is so cool. Let's popularize that. Toxic relationships. Oh man, that is so cool, man. You got to be down with it.
I be telling my kids,
If you ain't toxic, you're not it. No,
What?
that's people that's hurt and they want to make themselves feel better by saying, "Oh, if you ain't got a toxic relationship, you ain't got nothing."
Yeah.
No, that's wrong. Because you know why? You crying on the bedside. Your children come ask you what's wrong. You gotta wipe your face. Oh, nothing, man, there's nothing wrong. Oh yeah,
Your children know.
such and such ain't coming back tonight. No, he working tonight. Or she working. She not here tonight. Or she went away. Man, just toxic. That's nonsense, man.
It is nonsense.
Like I've always thought like cheating to me is just too much. Like it's just the city too small. First of all, let's just get that out.
That's number one.
Because then on top of that, if you are trying to cheat, you gotta worry about your phone. And the way these iPhones are set up, it's so many hacks and tricks and things. Like, oh, let me turn this off, and then when you gotta turn it back on, then you gotta remember to turn it off. Then you gotta worry about
too much work, man.
What can
And we location share over here, so.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
person to cheat at. Well, damn, you got to slide out. Everybody would have slide out. Everybody go to the plaza. Everybody. There's only so many places you can go, and you still looking over your shoulder like you're not trying to get caught. Not only by the person you're cheating on, but the people that you're cool with that knows her. That's knows your significant other. Like you constantly swerve. Like, hold up. It's too much.
I just think that's crazy.
Yeah, but I just don't understand. Like, I mean, I understand.
It is wild.
It's very wild. But the thing I always say is, you can't. It's just something that's temporary, and all it is trying to fill something, that void that is temporary.
Yeah.
Like you got somebody at home, you got a good woman at home that's been riding with you through thick and thin, that supports everything that you got going on, that conversates with you, that takes care of your kids, that makes sure that you good in the bed, cooks for you, conversate with you, just the whole 9 yards. Something goes wrong, all right, bam. That's it. I don't want to talk. I'm about to go out here, or something might not be going right for a couple of weeks. It's life. Marriages are not perfect.
Right.
And you're going to go through rough patches, but that doesn't give you the excuse to say, all right, well, I'm going through something. I need to just go talk to somebody else. Of course, I was just talking to somebody. Then that talking kind of evolves into feelings, and
Talk to me.
the feelings,
Right here.
you already know how it goes. The more you keep talking and going to that person, might talk to your person, like your wife or whatever, but the conversations are different. Like, okay, all right, I hear you. And then you're going over here. Yeah, I had that conversation. That's just talk
Back
about
to the representatives too, because if you step outside of your house and you having a conversation with a woman or a man, they are doing whatever they can do to get you in their bedroom or whatever the case is, away from your partner. So they're sending their representative, and then you be done that, got with this person, and now they're different. Like, we watching this show, case in point. It's called Me, You, and My Ex. You, Me, and My Ex, or something like that. Her husband left to go overseas because he served in the military. For whatever reason, I guess she felt lonely, this, that, and the third. She cheats basically with the next door neighbor, right? So now she's with this guy, the next door neighbor. Now they're getting a divorce because it wasn't what she thought it was going to be. It was somebody who filled the void. And now she looking at getting back with the husband she had before. Sound like she just should have communicated to me. But, that's neither here nor there. But the point is, you left for something outside of your marriage, because they was just wooing you and giving you this, this fairy tale. And now you got the grass isn't green on the other side. Oh, okay.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Looking foolish.
And that she does. I'd be like, I can't believe you got me watching this.
But also about the cheating thing though, right? It's about communicating with your partner in the beginning and telling him your position on adultery, infidelity. It's about telling and communicating that and let them know, like, what's your true position. That way, in the event anything was like that to happen, it's like, yo, we talked about this. I done already told you what the game gonna be if you head down that road, right? So don't try to, don't do something and be like, oh, babe, I ain't know it's gonna hurt you like this. Oh, I'm sorry, honey, I ain't mean to. No, you meant to. And especially for the women, right? Yet women, it's a whole nother ball game, because that emotional connection got to exist, or you got to be trying to get back at me, or you have it got to have a stronger meaning. But for men, I just needed to get off. That's it.
It's not gonna work though. It ain't gonna work. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. It's not gonna work. Apologize. Let's talk, and then you can do whatever you like.
Like you got to put your pride aside and really just say to yourself, look.
There's no pride in marriage. I'm sorry, what? No pride.
That's facts though, but that goes back to what Wayne was saying too, like going back to apologizing and taking accountability and certain things like that, man. The ego, the human ego, especially the male ego, is one hell of a thing, because sometimes like what Erica was saying, like if she brings up a scenario or something, and men like to be problem solvers. I know we've been driving the wrong way for the past 10 miles, but let me figure it out. I got it. Right. The male, the ego. So
there's no place for the ego in marriage.
Take wise counsel though. When your partner say, hey, babe, are you when that's another thing, when a woman come ask you, babe, are you sure you going the right way?
I got it.
Like
how they do. Yeah.
Are you sure? All right, no, it don't seem like it. So sometimes you got to admit, you know what?
See,
I messed up. I think I messed up and I went the wrong way. But then there's that time when I do say I messed up, I don't need you coming to attack me.
You got me going. Now we're gonna be late. Baby, just pull up the GPS.
How many times I told you?
Be the helpmate. Be the helpmate. If you have it already ready for him, because when you ask the question, babe, are you sure we're going the right way? You already know you're going the wrong way. So have the solution for him. Communicate the way he like to communicate. Like, communicate the way he like to communicate. For him, I know my husband. If he don't put the GPS on before we start rolling, he is just like...
Wait.
He like clockwork. Before he pull out, he will have the GPS, because we typically travel for various reasons.
Nice.
He's gonna have the GPS. So if I ask him, Hey, babe, you sure we're going the right way? I had better have the GPS up and ready to go. That's it. Like, provide the solution. They like to be solution driven, and all they could do is sit back and be like, God dang it, she right.
But like you said, that shows you how fast and how pivotal communication plays with
Yeah.
even something as small as helping out with directions. That could turn into a whole bigger situation just from lack of communication.
Yes. And it's called, you're a helpmate. Help. He need help. I don't care how much you say he don't
Yeah,
need it.
we need help. Help me, please, man.
Yeah.
Help me. Don't let me do this all by myself. I
I
don't
got
want
you, babe. I got you.
Yeah.
Here you go. You got us going the wrong way. We're probably gonna be 10 minutes late, but here you go. I got you.
What you were saying, that's right. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
Nah, you good. I really didn't have anything to say. I'm just sitting back, listening to these gems, man. It's just
Like hanging out with the Guidrys, man. Like I think that's what it is, bro. Just like just hanging
Nah,
out with
It's
them.
a
Yeah,
hangout.
it's good to hang out with y'all, you know, and more importantly, man, I'm all about, you know, trying to help our community overcome our poor rates that we have in our family,
Yeah, all
man.
these
Big
stigmas.
facts.
You know, all these stigmas and this
Mhm.
negativity that we are promoting and this is the things that I tell my wife, this keeps me up at night, like trying to teach our kids how to combat the things that are going to happen in this world, right? How to be successful pioneers in their endeavors, right? And how to, you know, battle the negativity that's going to come their way.
Yes,
Right.
and be leaders. Like leaders. Like you have to be a leader. Like you have to know what's right. And I'm at the point, like our 12-year-old, he's starting to, you know, want to do things and go places. And I'll tell him, if you don't know if it's right, pick up the phone and call me. I don't care how stupid it is. Call me. And if you can't call me, you better call God. Lord, give me the strength to do the right thing. You better pray. I say, you're not too young to know who God is. Not too young. You better ask for wisdom, son. I'm not playing. And he'd be like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Because I don't want to hear it.
Right.
So you just got to give them tools, like practical tools. I think most times too, even with your walk with God, we think this is just this daunting thing, like prayer. I don't know how to pray. Open your mouth. Communicate. It's say what it is. Lord, I'm struggling with X. Here, this is what I have. Like, here I am. And when you get into a posture of saying, being honest, because truth be told, you by yourself when you're praying for the most part. So at that point, you can take off your social media face. You can lay down whoever you was when you was on live and when you was doing all of that. And you can literally say, you know what? Here's what I have. Like, do what you need to do with me. Like, fix me, help me. Because I'm out here just not getting it. I'm not getting it. If things not going right, it's time to check. Like if your light come on in your car, that means something's wrong. So go get it checked out. Because if you're not a mechanic, then you don't know exactly what's going on with your car. You may need a tune-up. So who gonna tune you up? Yourself? Well, if you was gonna do it, you would have did it.
So even on that point, Erica, so what do you tell people that feel like they're not I'm too flawed? The things I've done in my life is just not I don't even know if I have it in myself to even get to this point. Like
I think God
I've
loves
done
them the
bad things,
most.
I've lied to my
Yeah.
friends, I lied to my wife. I just don't know. Like, what do you tell for the people that has that inner conflict with themselves to even get to that point? Because I know a little bit earlier you said have that relationship with God, pray. But some people, what about those people that's on that ledge that that are scared to make that next step? What do you and yourself as well, Wayne? What do you tell people that's at that crossroad or at that ledge?
Number one, God loves you. God loves you, and Jesus paid it all already. Like whatever you dealing with, he bigger than that. Like he paid it all already. So okay, yeah, you lied. Repent.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
Like I did, because it's already done. You already did it. Lord, forgive me. And then when you repent, do your best to turn away from that behavior, whatever that is that got you there. But know that is because God loved you. Like he loves you. And literally waiting for you to say, you know what? I can't do it in my own strength anymore. Like waiting. Think about like he is literally watching you. Because one thing God is not gonna do, he's not gonna step in when you haven't opened the door. Like he at the front door. Know that he loves you. Flaws and all. Every person that God used in the Bible was flawed. Lied, killed, rejected
That's
him.
very
Every person
good.
that's why you got to read your Bible. But aside that, God loves you. That's the biggest thing. Like we all looking for love, but
Yeah,
God loves you.
yeah, because that made
For
me
real.
think. Because when you said, God is, some people think this is big,
Yeah.
daunting. It's like, which he is, of course, but it's like some people get intimidated by that, and it's like,
Yes.
I'm not gonna do church Sunday, and then they think about it all week. Nah, I'm gonna go next Sunday.
Oh, I'm gonna do it on
And next
live.
Sunday,
No.
I'm gonna go for Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah. And tomorrow's not promised. Like that
Hey,
part
thanks.
is not promised. So do it. Do it scared. Do it
Mm,
uncertain. Go to
I like that.
try a church. Try and pray. You can be like, I don't know what I'm doing, but here I am. And guess what? Nobody not gonna know. I mean, God already know before you even ask anyway. He just waiting on you to ask.
Right.
So I would say no. You have to know that God loves you. Like when God sent Jesus, that was his love. Like, cause I don't know nobody that's gonna really just die for you. Like I don't really know. They say it. I'll take a bullet for you. But will you really?
Yeah, see,
Will
that's
you
why
really?
I asked, Mom. That's why I asked. Yep, because it's
Well,
like some
Sabrina, I
people.
prayed for you then. Cause I told you I pray about everything. I prayed even before I got on here. Like, and I'll just share my heart. My heart was, Lord, if there is anybody that's struggling and they need a reignite in their walk with God, then let it be. If somebody don't know God and want to get to know, then let it be. Like that's every time I open my mouth, it's for the glory of God, like for real. And so that was my literal prayer. So
And for me, I would say, start with prayer and then move to change and allow disruption to overtake you, because improvement only comes when something has been disturbed from its original position, and let you be changed through your prayer and your actions be that change agent that's continuous in that process, right? So that's where we got to start. Sometimes people like, where do I begin? Just start.
yep. My
Just
husband
start.
said, and just for transparency, right? My husband always tell me, I don't pray like you pray. But guess what? I told my husband, I love to hear you pray. Like, I love it because what you're doing, you're being vulnerable before me and before God. And as unrefined as you think you are, God wants to hear you pray too. Like, it don't have to sound like, I mean, can I
A
go
good
for
point.
broke when I'm praying? I can. But sometimes it has to be just like broken English almost. Sometimes God knows when you just moan and just cry and just whatever it has to be. It doesn't have to be what we make it to be.
Yeah, because
That's a good
sometimes for
point.
me, I like to be like Pastor Eric Williams, Pastor Keon, Pastor Bishop T.D. Jakes. I like to be. I want to be profound, man. But sometimes you just got to start somewhere, And a lot of times we be so afraid of our own self that we don't let disruption set in, so we can make the difference and make the adjustment.
Yeah.
Oh no, man, I want to stay right here. No. It's okay to change and learn from others, and say, hey man, have you ever thought about doing it this way?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought? And then say, you know what? let me give it a shot, and then try it again. Then try it again.
Yep.
And then you know what? A habit is now created.
Yeah. Because prayer is, I heard it like this. Prayer is a mindset. It's a mindset. It's not just something that you do. Yeah, I mean, it's an act. But when you get in the mindset of it, like you just constantly, it becomes a part of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like it becomes easier because and then two people also think that, you know, the Christian walk is easy. It's probably one of the hardest walks, you know, to, you know, love people who really hate you, like love people who spitefully use you. You know, it's like, oh,
That be that
but I'm
part.
a Christian.
I ain't gonna
That's a
lie,
whole
But
nother.
dog. That be hard for me. I'm just gonna
Right.
go ahead and say it. I ain't gonna sit up here and say that that's easy to hate
and
people
it's
that
not
hate you,
easy, but
that want to do things to hurt you,
yeah. But
right?
you still have to, and
Mm-hmm.
for me, like I still have to pray for them, like for real.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when you don't know what to pray, like I'm still pray for you because I don't want my spirit to be, you know, tainted because I'm holding on to something that you did to me. So I think, you know, prayer too gives you perspective. It
Mm-hmm.
changes your outlook on things. You go from, you know, worrying to, you know what? Okay, there's hope. You know, I'm giving it to you and now I'm going to take hope back because that's
Mm-hmm.
what you have for me. I gave you my anxiety and now you're going to give me peace. I'm going to take that. So it's a two-way street, I think. And I think people have much more to gain by giving the earthly things to God because he's already overcome all of that.
Woo, drop the mic. Bang.
I ain't got nothing to say after that. We going. Yeah, I'm fine with that right there.
Yeah, that was some real. I like that. I like that for real. But for sure, Erica and Wayne, I must say, like, I took a lot from this conversation, from the relationship, from just understanding your significant other, life gems y'all dropped tonight. I really appreciate y'all for coming through and just blessing us with like gems and lessons. And thank y'all so much for y'all time. And
Thanks.
before we go, I know Erica likes to end y'all show with a prayer. So,
Right.
I
I was about to. You took the. Yep.
can't let y'all go or let Erica go before dropping a prayer for us. So we're gonna give y'all the floor. You can say whatever you want before you go, but you have to end it off with a prayer.
You have something you want to say?
No, I think I said enough, but you know, again, to the black people that listen to you guys, to the people, anybody, doesn't really matter the race. Let's love one another. Let's bring each other peace, and that's all for words of encouragement, right? And if you don't have nothing positive to say to your neighbor, if you can't say whatever's coming out of your mouth, if it's not about helping somebody in that situation and improving that standing in that person's life, man, keep them thoughts to yourself, man. You know, we don't need that. Well, we need people in the like mindset of how we can help each other be better than we were today.
Yes. So now I have to put my money where my mouth is and just show how undaunting prayer really is. So let us go to God in prayer. God, we thank you. God, we thank you for who you are, God. I pray now that you remove Wayne and Erica, even Ziggy and S. Ryder. God, I just pray now that you have the floor right now, God. You have the airways, and now you have come to do only what you can do, God. You're reminding those that you are there waiting for them. God, you're reminding those that they can do the work and that they can succeed and be who you have called them to be. God, we thank you now for this time of fellowship, time of sharing thoughts, time of empowering one another. God, we know that iron sharpens iron. So God, I pray now that people are even sparked to even know more about you, to even begin to Google, where do I begin? Where do I start? Where do I learn more about God? How do I get into this thing, God? And I pray that the resources will be right there for them, waiting to bring them back to you. So God, I thank you now. Even I pray for marriages, God. I come against all the attacks against marriage. I rebuke the attacks and the enemy's assignment on marriages, God, because we are looking for a remnant of people who are going to stand for marriage, who are going to defend marriage, because we know that it comes straight from you. So God, I thank you now. I pray for marriages that are in trouble. I pray that they find the resources that they need. And I pray now for the people who have put this show together, God. Give them back everything that they put out into this, God. Let them not despise small beginnings and let this thing go worldwide, so that people can hash it out everywhere and people walk away from these things with greater insight and ready to take on their worlds. It's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
See, I even stuttered a little bit and all of that, but guess what? He still heard my prayer, and that's on that.
I heard the prayer loud.
Hey, I heard it.
Worldwide, let's hash it out, man.
Let's hash it out.
Yes.
Definitely appreciate that. Esrada, you got any final words, bro, before we close?
I mean, it's kind of hard to follow up behind what they were saying tonight.
It
bro.
is. I mean,
But
no, now she said no. Don't worry about all that. Just go stutter. You know.
But nah, man. Just continuously, just be blessed, man. And it's a lot of like we talked about on this show. It's a lot of negative things that's gonna come your way. It's a lot of evil people. It's a lot of things that's not gonna go right. You have to wake up each day with that positive mindset, stating to yourself, this is a brand new day. This is a new chance, a new beginning, a new start. Just all you got to do is, once you wake up in the morning, you open your eyes and you plant your feet on that ground, just say to yourself, hey, I have another shot at being great. Always have that mindset of just saying, I'm going to be great no matter what. I don't care what you're dealing with, what happened yesterday, that's yesterday. Yesterday doesn't define what you can be today. So make sure.
There you go, my brother.
With that mindset, be great. Don't let anything or anybody stop you from achieving what you want to do. You have to fail in order to be great.
Yep.
Don't let your failures define who you are. You're going to fail. That's the only way you're going to learn to be successful. So just be great. Be mindful. Be humble. Appreciate your blessings. Don't take nothing for granted. Live life and enjoy life. That's all.
Drop the mic.
Appreciate you guys, man. Much
Yeah.
love, baby. Much love.
That's all.
All right, that's Esrada. I'm Ziggy the Beast, along with Wayne and Erica Guidry of the We Blended and Blessed podcast. And we just hashed out families, communication, prayer, everything. And we appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all in the next one.
All right, man.
Bye,
Y'all stay blessed, man.
Stay blessed.
Hey.
Get out your feelings and stop the killing and run your mouth. We talking east to the west, I'm not bringing back the south. Bases is loaded, 2 strikes and 1 more, I get you out. Let's talk about like adults and sit back and hash it out. Hash it out, 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 and we gon' hash it out. Hash it out, hash it out, hash it out, hash it out. Let's get your cups and sit back and let's talk and hash it out. Men lie, and women lie, but numbers don't. We can debate if you want, but I know you really won't. I'ma reach and guess my percentage on the test. I'm sure like Holmes, detective skills, it be at the max. S Rider, his topics, he bringing be the best. Ziggy the Beast, he be streaming, that man is built for next. Take talk, she wear the dress, but don't try to press. I'm S dotted, I'm camping smacking, we at your neck. Hash it out, 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 and we gon' hash it out. Hash it out, hash it out, hash it out, hash it out. Let's get your cups and sit back and let's talk and hash it out. Get out your feelings and stop the killing and run your mouth. We talking east to the west, I'm not bringing back the south. Bases is loaded, 2 strikes and 1 more, I get you out. Let's talk about like adults and sit back and hash it out.